Yes, welcome along to episode 19 of Upping The Ante in association with Bet365 with David Jennings and Johnny Dineen, counting down to the 2024 Cheltenham Festival. And that 2024 Cheltenham Festival, ladies and gentlemen, it's just around the corner. Yes, it's less than 48 hours away, and this is our final show before it kicks off. So welcome along, Johnny Dineen.
Yeah, look, we're nearly there now. I mean, the decks are out for Sunday. Once I think the final decks come out, you're here, like you're in the.
And we are actually here because we're in the Cotswolds. We're filming from our studio in the Cotswolds. We're only a kick away from Cheltenham Racecourse, and we are here, Johnny. We got here in one piece.
Yeah.
You managed to survive 18 weeks with me. Congratulations.
Yeah.
How are your confidence levels going into Tuesday?
It could be better, but I've often arrived here in reg order at the same time. Yeah, often, and I've often arrived here in good order too. But once the ball is thrown in on Tuesday, that really I kind of forget about the previous, and it's a new day or new dawn or whatever. So you'll be hoping
You're going to sing a song.
Yeah, you'll be hoping.
New day. It's Michael Bublé, is it?
Is it? I couldn't tell you. I'm not off favour. A lot of those fellas know Michael Bublé. Michael Bublé, is it?
And I'm feeling good. Yeah. It's a new day. It's a new dawn, and I'm feeling good.
Yeah, look, you could be right about that now. I'm not so sure. I know the song all right, but I wouldn't have a clue who sings it.
Sing it anyway.
Yeah, anyway. But no, look, I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably up the ante a small bit betting wise this week.
Nice
you know
one,
what I mean?
Johnny.
Yeah, I probably will. So I'll probably have more of a go this week than other weeks. So it's quite important that I get it right at the same time.
Was it a winning weekend for you?
No, I lost yesterday too. Did everything wrong yesterday. Started off back to horse in Hereford. Jesus, it looked like winning now. He got wiped out by a loose horse coming to the second last. It was 10-1. It was bigger than 10-1 even. And he got beat like a head, and then he laid on the running after losing about 8 or 10 lengths at one stage in the race. And there was a few horses that I fancied. I never backed him. And I didn't hit my first winner until about 4:30 in the day. But I got something back at the finish now, I did, but I still lost.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter, Johnny, because Tuesday Cheltenham kicks off, and that's all that matters. And before we get on with the show, I know you want to give a shout out to a very, very special viewer.
Yeah, there's a little girl called Evie Miller. Her dad was on that the internet, on the whatever you call it.
On the internet, yeah.
You know that thing on
YouTube,
yeah, that's it. Yeah, YouTube, and he wrote in that his daughter is recovering from heart transplant or heart,
brilliant.
Something like that.
She's doing well.
And she's doing good. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So, and she's only a young kid. And she loves the show, so she gets a good few laughs out of it. So I'm hoping that she makes a full recovery. I'm sure she will.
Okay. Best of luck to you, Evie, over the course at Cheltenham, and best of luck to all our viewers. So I think it's time to get on with the show. So let's kick off with our questions from the crowd. And the first question this week comes in from Monica Smith. And Monica says, herself and her dad love going to Stratford on the eve of the Cheltenham Festival, as I used to always do, Johnny Dineen, for about 10 or 15 years. I used to always go to Stratford on the Monday. Unfortunately, I have to work and do previews now on the Monday. But she wants to know, can we give her a winner at Stratford on Monday to set her up nicely for the week? Yeah,
look, the ground is going to be horrific there, I'd imagine. It is going to be heavy, and when Stratford gets heavy, it's proper heavy, because it's kind of like a summer track, and when the ground is, it's more or less, it's a good ground track, and when the ground is bad there, it is really bad, really testing. There was only one race appealed to me. It was the very first race. I see Nichols has a horse called Swift Hawk, who will not like bad ground anyway. Now, he's been pulled out of a few races because of the ground, and maybe they'll take their chance and let him run, but if you'd be hoping he does run, because I fancy Ragacina to beat him.
Okay.
Ragacina is ridden by a guy called Eddie Edge.
Yeah, Eddie the Edge. We spoke with him before actually in the show.
He won a race in Sedgefield. But you're more into Swift Hawk is really vulnerable horse on heavy ground, and if it does run, I could see it getting beat, and if it is to be beaten, it'll be by Ragacina, I think, anyway, yeah.
Lovely, Monica. So we're starting you off with a winner in the very first race. Can't do any better than that. Give us the name again.
Ragacina. I think Ben Brookhouse trains it, yeah.
For Ben Woodhouse. Okay, there you go. And I'm going to tweak the rules a little bit here. I know you said Stratford, but there's also a race at Plumpton and Taunton. I'm going to the 340 at Taunton. Broken Halo, who's been running in those Royal Artillery Gold Cups at Sandown. Harry Cobden is back on board. He's picked Broken Halo over in Rillo. And I just thought the way he travelled on his last two races at Sandown in those races, I thought he was primed to win again off this sort of a mark. He's a strong traveller who stays all day, and I think 3 mile 4 around Taunton is perfect. Right away, 3-1, Broken Halo for me in the 340 at Taunton. And Johnny, you're on Ragacina.
Ragacina in the very first race.
In the very first race at Stratford. So the very best of luck, Monica. Next up is Brian Sharkey, and he says, Johnny, could DJ and Johnny please give him a horse at 10-1 or shorter who will not win at the Cheltenham Festival? And if this said horse does win, The forfeit, Johnny Dineen, is that we have to do the review show the Tuesday after the Cheltenham Festival in our boxers. Okay, so this is very important.
Right.
This is very important, Johnny. I don't have great legs. I'm not sure what yours are like.
Oh, they wouldn't be wonderful now, I go and think.
Okay, well, I hope I don't have to find out, Johnny.
Anyway, look, I'm fairly confident. Anyway,
You're fairly confident you won't be in your boxers?
No, I'll tell you what I'll do. Do you know that thing, what's he doing? You can leave your hat on. Remember that program? Yeah, what's that guy? What was that program again?
Well, it's a film, isn't it? The full Monty.
Yeah, I'll do a full Monty if Found the 50
You're
wins.
going the whole hog?
Yes. I don't care what happens. That won't be winning anyway.
What is it?
Found the 50.
Found the 50?
Yeah, I'll chance the full Monty for Found the 50.
The full Monty?
Yeah, exactly. Well, definitely.
6-pack and all.
I know,
12-pack,
I'd say. Or 36-pack. Stop.
So you're very much against Found the 50.
I am. I don't fancy that. No, if it does win, we'll have to rethink. I'll definitely go down to the boxes, though, without a shadow.
You go down to the boxes?
Oh, without a shadow, yeah.
Okay. Found the 50.
I will see what happens after that, yeah.
Okay, so Johnny is actually taking a chance here. Found the 50 is around about 9-2, 5-1, bet 365 for the Arca. It's second favourite. It has a solid chance, a rock solid chance, but we might be getting to see those legs the Tuesday after the Cheltenham Festival. I'm going to play it a bit safer. I don't fancy this horse at all. But it's also the race last year where I said the Real Whacker has no chance whatsoever. The Real Whacker ended up winning. I cannot have Broadway Boy for the Brown Advisory. Like, he's a single figure price now against Factifile, against Stay Away Faye and Monty Star.
Yeah.
I can't see him beating any of them.
I agree with you, yeah.
Like, he's 8 or 9-1. I think he's half the price he should be. I can't have him on my mind, Broadway Boy. He's a very good handicapper. He's a lovely horse. Anybody would love to own him. But this is Premier League stuff, and he's not a Champions League type horse. I don't think he's good enough.
No, neither do I.
He's some crack, Johnny, if the two of us are in the boxers.
Yeah, I might switch to that one actually, especially if Found the 50 wins.
So there you go. If Found the 50 wins the Arcan on Tuesday, or Broadway Boy wins the Brown Advisory on Wednesday, myself or Johnny Dineen, or both of us, will be in our boxers when you see us next. Okay, and our final question this week comes in from Killian Gahan. And Killian, ladies and gentlemen, is getting his money's worth out of us, let me tell you. Because Killian wants Johnny to rank these good things, and there's 9 of them, Johnny, to rank these Cheltenham good things out of 10. So just to explain to people, and to you probably, 10 is the highest, okay? So if you really fancy it, it's a 10.
Okay.
And if you don't fancy it at all, it's a 1, okay? And Killian also wants to know to give him 3 out of these 9 for a treble. So the bulletproof treble, which we will do at the end, okay? So here we go, okay? Out of 10, Johnny, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. You got it?
Yeah, sure, yeah, absolutely.
Feels a bit like that sketch with Bradley Walsh and Tommy Tiernan, yeah? Where you have to answer the wrong question. Anyway, here we go, okay? So first one up, Johnny, Statement. Rank Statement out of 10.
Yeah, look, I'd go Statement at 10 without a shadow, yeah. Definitely.
10 straight away?
I would. I mean, I think that is absolutely bomb-proof. I mean, geez, I'll be gobsmacked if that doesn't win. I really would. I'd
How gobsmacked?
I would. I mean, if I was rewarded enough now, I could do something queer afterwards now, and maybe I'll lock myself in the room for 3 months and not come out if that didn't win. I think there's absolutely no betting. None.
Could we lock you away in a monastery or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, the fellas would be happy to see me now, I'd say. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you'd be new flesh.
Yeah, new and plenty sins from. The confession could last a while, but anyway, look. No, I do.
That's how sure you are.
Which?
That's how sure you are. You go to a monastery.
I would. I think I would. Yeah, I think I would. Look, I mean, I just can't see it getting beat. I don't see maybe the irons will break or whatever, the saddle slip. Those type of things can happen.
So there we go. 10 out of 10. Good start. Next is Lossiemouth in the Mayor's Hurdle.
Lossiemouth, I'd say about a 7.
7.
Yeah.
I thought you'd be higher with her.
No, well, I mean,
what is it?
I won't have anything other 10s bar Statement at the same time.
But Statement is the only 10.
Miles
so you're after giving away the game already, Johnny.
No, but I'm just saying the 7 is.
There's no more 10s coming.
No, okay. There isn't. No.
Okay, so Lossiemouth's a 7.
Yeah.
7. Okay, there we go. Ballyburn, who now runs in the Gallagher Novice Hurdle instead of Supreme Hard Luck, by the way. What are you ranking Ballyburn?
I'd say an 8.
I thought that'd be 9 at least, no?
Yeah, no, an 8. I'd just give it an 8. I do think it'll win, of course I do.
Yeah.
But it's priced on the button now at the same time. And I do think it'll win all right, though.
Okay.
I do. I'd favour it very strongly, definitely.
Okay, so an 8 for Ballyburn. Moving on to the Champion Chase, El Fabiolo.
El Fabiolo, for me, it'd only be about a 4.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, that's all that'll be. No, I wouldn't back that at all, I myself.
Okay.
I think it's far from a certainty anyway.
El Fabiolo 4. I skipped over Factifile in the Brown Advisor.
Factifile about a 5.
5?
That's all he'd be. Yeah, I think he's he has to prove on form. You're just listening to people really more than anything else. Okay. It's a pure hype horse. You can't ignore what people are saying and the right people are saying it. But at the price, I don't know. I think I wouldn't back him with even money now at the same time.
Wow, okay, only a 5 for Fact to File. Moving on to Thursday, and the banker for many people on Thursday will be Brighter Days Ahead in the Mayor's Novice Hurdle. Now getting very skimpy, Johnny.
Yeah, but again, about a 5 or a 4, 4 or 5. 4, I'd say maybe.
Well, you have to just pick one.
I'll go 5, yeah. I'll go 5, yeah. Yeah, I'll go 5.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, look, again, it's another high pass that probably you could pick holes in it and there's a bit of opposition to it. But look, again, it's another stable shout from the rooftops. Only for that, I wouldn't even consider it as a bet, but I probably mightn't even back it anyway, to be honest, yeah.
Brighter Days Ahead is a 5. Moving on to Friday and the opener. It was looking a bit dodgy there on Saturday night for Sergino, but he's okay. The updates have been very strong about Sergino. He's fine. He's going to run in the Triumph Hurdle. What is his chances out of 10, Johnny?
I would have said he's after dropping a couple of points from maybe a 7. He's down to, he could be heading for 5, I'd say. 5, yeah.
You have a lot of 5s.
Yeah. I have 5s. 5 to me is, I fancy him, but I mightn't back him.
Okay. Good to know the level. Moving on to Galloping the Champs in the Gold Cup.
That's a 2. 2. I'd give that a 2, yeah.
2.
2 would mean I'm going to lay it.
2.
I don't want to give it a 1 because it's a bit insulting to it, but a 2, I'll give it a 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will be opposing Galloping the Champs.
Okay, Galloping Champs is a 2. And finally, Dino Blue in the Mayor's Chase, who you tipped up on this show at 9-2.
Yeah, I wouldn't back that either at the price it is now. I'd say that's only about a 4 or 5 maybe again.
5 or 5?
Yeah, for a lot of 5s now.
5 your lucky number.
Yeah, look, I find looking at the racing this year, there is a lot of horses this year at the prices there. I think they might win, but whether I want to put my hand in my pocket is a completely different story. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'll be actually going for horses that are bigger prices. Some of them, like the likes of maybe T Hoopo, and it's on the line. They're slightly better prices, 5-2, or that kind of in around 9-4, 5-2, rather than some of the skinnier ones.
Okay, so it's a 5 for Dino Blue in the Mayor's Chase. And the second half of this question, Johnny, because we're being really generous on today's show for Killian. He needs a treble out of those 9. So you have 9, you have a lot of 5s.
Yeah.
I can't remember what you gave them
Well,
all. So give us the treble.
The
so
treble
State Man
is 10, 8, 7. I'll go 10 him, 8 Ballyburn, 7 Lassie Mout. That's the treble.
Right, they're the treble. They are the 3 bankers that are going to win at this week's Cheltenham
I would
Festival.
think so, yeah.
So it's State Man, Ballyburn and Lassie Mout. You'll know your fate early. The first 8 races, 3 bankers from Johnny Dineen. That's your treble. Great question, Killian, and well answered, Johnny. So, Up in the Ante viewers, this is why you tuned in. It's for the Tuesday preview. We have the declarations. We know what's running. We know who's riding. We know exactly what's happening on Tuesday. All you need to know now is the winners. And in the next 14 minutes or so, we're going to give it 2 minutes a race. We're going to try and find you the winners on Tuesday because it's very important to make a good start. So kicking off with the Supreme Novice Hurdle at 1:30. What wins and why, Johnny Dineen?
Look, it's wide open now with the fact that Ballyburn is affected into the longer race. So you have about 5 that have, you could...
5, another 5.
5 horses.
You're loving the 5s today.
I suppose you have 5 horses that you could see how a fella would fancy him. The likes of Tully Hill and Mystical Power, Firefox, Jericho the Repine and Slade Steel. They're the big 5 anyway, aren't they, really?
Rest, okay.
I probably think so, yeah. I probably think so. What I'm listening to at these previews is that all these fellas from the Mullins camp, very sweet in Tully Hill, not a mention for Mystical Power.
Is that a good sign, though?
I'd say horrific.
Well, that's a bad sign.
Oh, I'd say desperate. I'm taking from that any the Mystical Power will not win here anyway, like. Definitely won't.
Not a shrewd judges fancy a Mystical Power.
Yeah,
Gary O'Brien being one of them.
Yeah, he was putting them up, but very few fellas mentioning him now. And the stable, not Ruby not fancy him, David Casey not fancy him. I think that's a bad sign anyway myself. When the stable don't fancy him, you're in trouble, I think. Slade Steel, to me, is coming back in trip. I know he ran 2 mile last day, but he was well beaten, I think. It's hard to see that kind of performance winning a Supreme, I think. Okay. So the 2 I'm going to go with are Firefox and Jericho the Repine.
Okay, and I'm going to have to push you of those 2. What's your selection?
I'm actually going to back both of them, to be honest. Okay. So, but if you force me to pick one,
up against the wall,
I'll go with Firefox.
Firefox.
But I will back both of them now.
I think at 8-1, Jericho the Repine has become the value in the race. I wasn't overly impressed with Doncaster, but he still, at least he won. And the time before at Newbury, I thought he jumped brilliantly, and I think the race will suit him. The vibes seem to be very strong coming from the camp, even though it's not an informed camp. But I think 8-1, Jericho the Repine, I think that is probably the value now. So 1 vote for Jericho the Repine, kind of a half a vote for him for Johnny Dineen, but his first choice would be Firefox in the opener. Moving on to the Arkle at 2:10. It is wide open this year. It is basically 130 to field, Johnny Dineen. And Gaelic Warrior, tipped up by a certain David Jennings on the show back in February. I thought it was gone.
Yeah.
The whole logic was completely wrong because I thought he'd win that race. He'd run in the 2 mile race at the Dublin Race Festival and win it and then come here. He didn't even run in the 2 mile race. He was beaten in the 2 mile 5 race and he still comes to the Arkle. Will Gaelic Warrior win the Arkle?
Look, there seems to be confidence behind him from the yard. I can't see it myself. I don't fancy him. I think jumping out to the right, he won't even get the lead here in this race. He won't be allowed to make the running, I don't think. The likes of Matata.
Is he not just naturally a more gifted horse than these?
Yeah, he may be on some of his runs earlier on the year, but his last run, like falling out drunk out over his head in at the last episode, that to me don't smack of an Arkle.
It was like a bounce that was thrown out of a nightclub.
Yeah, I didn't like it anyway. I just think he'll struggle. I don't think he'll get his own way, and he could shift to the right. There's 2 or 3 things against him anyway.
Are you still liking Calixios?
I'm giving that a good chance, yeah, and I'm giving JPR1 a good chance.
You're still going back?
Yeah, I go on those 2 horses. I just think some of the other Irish horses are vulnerable. The likes of...
I was going to say, would you give Found 50 a chance?
I'd give it 0. And Elete Tampa, I don't fancy. I don't really fancy that line of form from the Dublin Racing Festival. And I think Elete Tampa will beat Found 50 again. But
I think you think I'd beat Found 50.
Yeah, I know. Maybe he has a chance. I just don't fancy him. I don't think he's that good a horse. I might be wrong. But look, it's probably an open enough race. But I'm going to chance Calixios maybe to improve past all these.
Calixios for Johnny Dineen, and I have to stay loyal to Gaelic Warrior. I think he's the most talented horse in the race. And if he does get into a rhythm early, I think he could beat these. The first handicap of the week is the ultimate, Johnny Dineen, and it's a wide open ultimate. Meeting of the Waters has been the buzz horse. Meeting of the Waters and the Goffer are the 2 that have really kind of been the springers in the market over the last kind of 48 hours or so, or even the last week. What do you like in the ultimate?
I wouldn't be raving about either of those 2 myself. Meeting of the Waters, I think it's kind of half price on connections. And I wouldn't say 0, but I think the Goffer is pretty close to 0 chance. I think there's no chance. I don't fancy that at all. The Goffer.
Any particular reason why?
I just think, first of all, the ground has been plenty soft enough for it. And secondly, it's running a load of these races before. It didn't even have the profile of a horse that's improving or anything like that.
If he repeats his run in the race last year, will he win?
No, he won't. And that's what I'm thinking, that he won't. That won't do.
That's what a lot of people are thinking, given it was Cara Tramler and Faster Slow to beat him.
Yeah, I don't agree. I think it'll finish about 4th or 5th.
No nonsense from you today, Johnny.
If he does repeat that run, I don't see him being any better than 4th. I don't. I think he's a year older as well. You know what I mean? He's a lot of he didn't just not run in last year's ultimate and come along. He's a lot of form in between at the same time, and it's ordinary form too. I don't know. I wouldn't be fancying him anyway.
Okay.
Meeting in the Waters, I think is priced on connections. I think it's quite short, and it's gone up a good bit for Win the Paddy Power. And look, I didn't think it had stones in hand on it. Look, maybe you respect Woody Mullins, of course you would, but I like Ante Classic. I think he's a horse with a touch of class. And to be fair, Bailey's not going great, but he isn't going horrific either. He's going a bit better than he was. And he's a horse to me that would be a similar horse to Broadway Boy if he was campaigned that way, that he would be a 12 or 14 to 1 chance in the Brown Advisory if he ran it. Do you know what I mean? He's a great jumper. He'll go on soft ground. I don't know. I think he has to be there or thereabouts. And
you like your novices in these?
I do, yeah. I'll chance them kind of horses. Yeah.
And I'm also going for a Bailey horse, but I'm going for the other one.
Which one?
Trelawn.
Right.
I think Trelawn, he is a bit of a rogue. You've seen what he did at Weatherby, but he's stepping up the 3 miles. Harry Cobden takes over. Harry Cobden, terrific jockey, especially in these handicap chases around Cheltenham. I think he's got more natural ability than Chianti Classico, but Chianti Classico does stuff better than Trelawn, but I just wonder if he gets into
will Trelawn not jump out to his right here, no?
But sure, he probably will, Johnny, yeah.
But he can't win doing that, can he?
Well, I don't know. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, he did it in Weatherby through a race, didn't he? And it was only about a small field race.
But you think Crabelli is the bet of the week. You think he's a good thing in the plate. And this fella was within a arse's roar of him. And he's stepping up the 3 miles, which would really save him. He's unexposed over this trip.
And what's he running off of here?
143.
Okay. No, he's a good horse. He's a horse with a big engine. Yeah. But I just think if he is to win a big race, it'll be the other way around.
Okay. Well,
it'll be
the other way around because Chianti Classico will win.
No, but yeah, maybe so. But I think he'll win going right-handed rather than.
Maybe so. Yeah. I think Trelawn is a big chance. The other one, we've all been caught. I was between the 2. We've all been caught and Trelawn, but I've sided with Trelawn. I think I'll change my mind now because Johnny has convinced me. Otherwise, that is the ultimate. For Johnny, it's Chianti Classico, and for me, it is Trelawn. So Kim Bailey, well done. You've won one of them anyway. Moving on to the champion hurdle list, going to be short and sweet. 3:30 Tuesday, Johnny Dineen, State Man. Sure, is there any more you can add to your 10
No,
out of 10
not
case?
really. And look, if I was giving advice to anyone, I'd just back the favourite and don't bother messing with each ways and all that kind of stuff.
Nonsense. Just
But the prices are going to be probably bad anyway for the place because it's the bad makeup for an each way race. So something like Under Control, not Under Control, Iberico Lord could be 22 or 3 to 1 on the exchanges, 10 to 1 like with the bookies, like paying 50 odds. So like, would you rather back? Just say if you back Iberico Lord each way, okay? Would you now just say you're sacrificing the win, so you're only fighting the place. You're backing him at 1 to 2 to be placed, and he's only fighting 2 places, second and third. Like, would you rather back Stateman at 2 to 5 to win the race than I buy Iberico Lord at 1 to 2 to be second or third?
Johnny, that makes perfect sense.
Well, I think it does anyway. I think that's like I don't know. I have a feeling that okay, even if he's 12 to 1, you're still backing him at about 8 to 11 to be 4 to 6 to be. It
makes no sense.
Not really to me.
No.
Not because the prices of the horses will be artificially impacted, that they'll be making like horses that'll be 50 to 1 will only be 20 to 1 or 25 to 1, that kind of stuff, because of the bad each way makeup of a race like this. So I'd look at just back the favourite.
Just back the favourite
and forget about it. He's right,
nonsense.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, I actually like Iberico Lord each way here. Norman Wesley don't. No, I think Johnny is right. I think we're going to have to stick with Stateman. Short and sweet Stateman. Keep it simple. Stateman. And I actually think it'll probably be Stateman beats Irish Point beats Iberico Lord.
It could well be. It could well be. Yeah, it could well be.
Mayor's Hurdle, Johnny Dineen, the 410 after Champion Hurdle. You've made a few quid there with Stateman. Are you going to reinvest on Lossy, mate? Yeah,
look, I might consider doing the double, even though I never do the doubles. I never do doubles.
That's the biggest piece of advice you've given me and viewers. Don't do multiples.
No, but this is.
Now you're doing a multiple.
Look, it's a double, an obvious double. It's paying even money. I do think that you're getting even money last time out, basically, and I'd struggle if it went to say 4 to 9, I wouldn't back it at all. That kind of thing. Whereas as Stateman wins, I'm on it at evens, and I'm happy enough to leave it ride. I do think it'll win. I'd give it a 7 out of 10, as I said earlier on. Stable, massive confidence behind it as well. Everyone that should know is saying, giving it a big thumbs up.
If they both run their races, Ashra Diamond and Lossiemouth, is there only one outcome? Can Ashra Diamond on her best form beat Lossiemouth on her best form? No,
I don't think so. I think Lossiemouth has to either underperform, which horses can do, or has to not get the trip. If the ground is testing and somebody goes off quick and turns it into a 2-6 race, then there's a chance that it mightn't get home. Who knows?
So tell me this, Johnny. You really fancy Stateman. That was your 10 out of 10. You gave a 7 out of 10 for Lossiemouth. You're saying you're going to do the double.
I might do the double.
You might do the double. But will you also back Stateman straight?
Yeah, look, I'd like to be winning going into Stateman, to be honest. You know, like that's why a good start's important.
Okay.
Like Stateman is much more likely to get beaten if you're chasing your tail, I think. Anyway, if he's winning, that's the way gambling works with me, and he always did. That if you're backing at 5 to 1 chance to get your money back, they don't win as often as they do when you're in front. Yeah, that's just, I don't know what that is, but that's just
it.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, look, the favourite Lossiemouth, I think she'll win. I hate though. One thing I always hate is backing horses that are not certain. Well, not saying not certain, but they're unproven over the trip. And the fellas will say, "No, she'll stay," and she'll definitely stay. But most of them have not on it. Do you know what I mean? Like if you pull your hand out of your pocket and you put it on, you're saying, "Geez, she didn't stay." It's not the first time I've seen a horse that didn't get the trip. Okay. So look, for me, it would definitely temper enthusiasm ever so slightly. But when all is said and done, I think she will win. All right.
Okay. I think she will win too, but I do think Ashra Diamond is going to put it up to her. Moving on to the Boodles. It's a 450. It might be a big race for many people, but it will be a big race for me, Johnny Dineen, because I've been very sweet on Indawi for quite a while. Like the horse, like everything about him, like the way he goes about his business, like his jumping. I thought he could have won by a good deal more than what he did at Naas last time. But even if he won by the distance he did, he probably would have got. He could have won by. He probably still would have only got about 134. It's a high enough mark, but I'm just hoping he's a class edge. But I am petrified of Lark in the morning.
Yeah. Do you know what? I was even thinking about the Boodles. I have a feeling that I'd never had a bet in the Boodles in my life until this year. I'm going to back Melantino. I fancy that strong, and I normally wouldn't even look at this race. I always think it's wide open, but I just think the ground is slow. Yeah. That'll suit it. Yeah. If it was a bit further, I'd fancy it really, really strong. I'm hoping that it can lie up with them when they quicken. Yeah. Now, it's by Milan and it's by National Huntsar, and most of these horses are flatbred. But when the ground is slow, it could knock a lot of them flatbreads
He's a
out of
very
it.
good jumper.
Oh, excellent leper. And like he's dropped 10 pounds. He has Sergino form.
And he actually traded quite short and run. Now, I know he went off it in front against Sergino, but he did trade short and run. He looked like he had a few of them in trouble coming down the hill.
Well, I didn't have a bet in that race, and I was half thinking of backing Sergino. I didn't have a bet. And halfway on I said, geez, I'm glad I didn't back Sergino, but this yoke in front, he's dangerous. Yeah. He's very dangerous. Now, ultimately, they caught him and then he fizzled out. But he didn't run bad. He's a good jumper. I think he's a great chance. I definitely think he'll be in the first. And with the conditions that it looked like likely now, I don't see him being out of the first 4 or 5 anyway. Okay,
so breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny Dineen is going to have his first ever bet on the Boodles, and it's going to be on Milantino. I'm with Indawi. And the final race on Tuesday, and we might finally have some agreement here, even though I suppose we did agree on Stateman and Lossy Mouth as well. But it is the National Hunt Chase. Don't let me down, Johnny. Do the right thing. What do you fancy?
Yeah, look, I think Corbett's Cross was a class edge. Yeah, he has to get the trip. He has to get the trip, and for a horse that was able to beat Founder 50 over 2 miles in days, going up to nearly 4 miles, like 18 months.
No, it's not. It's 3 miles 6.
See, it's a big difference at the same time.
But he was staying on, I thought, against Great Dare West at Leopardstown over Christmas.
Yeah, not many horses stay 3 miles and 6 all the same though. You know, not many horses stay it really thoroughly anyway. Look, he's a class horse in the race. He has a kink in him too, so he's getting into a price now. Whether you want to, do you really want to back him at 7-4? I think he'll win. I wouldn't oppose him. I definitely wouldn't oppose him. Now it'll be the time of, I won't decide till 10 minutes before the race whether I'm going to actually back him or not. I could see myself backing him, but I wouldn't like to be having a lot of money in him to get out at the same time.
Okay, so it's a tentative vote for Corbett's Cross for Johnny. I've been very sweet in Corbett's Cross all along. I just think he might just be a class above these. But he will need to do everything right. I think he'll just kind of plod along there in behind them under Derek O'Connor. And I'm hoping he can just decide when he wants to pick it up, fingers crossed.
Yeah, maybe so. I could see that situation, that lobbing and just coming between the last two and picking them off. I could see that happening, yeah.
Go on, Derek.
Yeah, look, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So it's Corbett's Cross for Johnny. It's Corbett's Cross for me. Best bet on Tuesday at the Cheltenham Festival, Johnny Dineen.
I'll go with Milantino each way.
Milantino each way in the Boodles. I do like Indawi in that, but I will stick with Corbett's Cross in the National Hunt Chase at 5:30. There you go. That's our Tuesday preview on Upping The Ante. Now it is time for the festival teams, the final teams, and we'll be making our transfer deadline day selection in a couple of moments, so stay tuned for that. But these are the horses we have picked already in our teams, Johnny Dineen, and unfortunately, there was a big blowout for you a couple of days ago, Johnny Dineen, because Ballyburn tipped up at 14-1. Got into as short as evens at one stage, Johnny, with Bet365, is now gone.
Yeah, that's it.
Your star striker, Messi, is gone.
That's it, taken out. But look, that's it. But I mean, those things happen. And I mean, as I said to a fella the other day, when you back a horse like that, he is shorter for another race, in fairness. So it's no shock, is it like? No. And it's not as if to say, I mean, I can't argue that he's in the wrong race with anyone. You know what I mean? He could be in the right race.
In the right race, yeah.
Well, he could be. I'd say probably with either race. But you can't turn around and say to a fella like beforehand, say, actually, he should have been in my race. You know what I mean? Because you can't say that.
You're not a fella, though, Johnny, that would be like, oh my God, like the world is against me. You don't strike me as a fella that whinges about stuff like that.
No, like I mean, if you're betting every day of the week, and you get bad beats every day of the week, so like, and it's not even a bad beat. They must go ahead and win anyway. On top of that, you know what I mean? Like the one thing is that amazed me about Ballyburn was that every fella thinks the races are absolutely all. You didn't even run the race he's in. You know what I mean? So like, he still has to go ahead and win at the same time. So look, I expect him to probably win on Wednesday, and it does open the race up now a lot. So. Yeah. But look, if I hit the winner on Tuesday, it won't matter to me whether Ballyburn ran or not. You know what I mean? That's the way
absolutely. Okay, so obviously we have to commend a lot of your selections here. You're in a terrific position, even with Ballyburn gone. Factophile, fantastic selection at 7-1. Now into evens, like Manila Indo, Dino Blue. Like you'd imagine one of those three is likely to win.
Well, you'd be kind of hoping they would anyway. You know what I mean? Stranger things have happened when they get beat. I mean, some of them are priced now out of commission, I think, anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if you weren't on them at those prices, it's fairly hard to tear into them at the price there now, I think.
Absolutely. Anyway. And you're a bit unlucky with some of your selections. Obviously, we said Ballyburn. Nick Rocket is another one.
He's out.
33-1. That was a bit of a sickener. Was well fancied for the National Hunt Chase. He's gone, so he is. And there's a couple of others. That
well, the one sickener for me of the whole lot, Ballyburn included, was in the pocket. I'd have loved to have seen him run in the Arkle. I would
just didn't make it.
Yeah, no, but I think he's the best novice this year in Ireland myself. But he didn't get there anyway, so that's all the one.
Best novice in Ireland, better than Factophile, yeah.
And well, 2 mile.
Oh, 2 mile.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
So that is Johnny Dineen's festival team. He will be adding to that with his transfer deadline day selection in a couple of moments. A quick look at my list now, which Johnny Dineen got a big boost just a couple of hours ago with Gaelic Warrior, tipped up on the show at 10-1. Now into 130 with Bet365. Now favourite for the Arkle, Paul Townend jocked up. So Johnny, I could get an early run on you here.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I told you things can swing around. Like,
now the chances are I won't.
But you never know. I mean, if
let's just say last year didn't go too well.
Gambling is funny.
So Gaelic Warrior 10-1. It's a big day for me on Tuesday because Gaelic Warrior 10-1 in Dowie at 11-1 also into 9s now Bet365. I think that could go off even a little bit shorter in Dowie. And I've also got kind of the second choices in a couple of the races. Astro Diamond tipped up at 9-2, 9-1 is now 9-2. Dice Ardinos tipped up at 8-1 is now 4-1. So I've got a couple that have halved in price. Let's be clear about it as being a big mover, tipped up at the show at 16-1. I know Lydia Hislop was very sweet on that from watching a couple of previews in the plate. So hopefully that goes okay. And my trump card put up a 50-1. If my trump card won, it'd be all over, Johnny.
I'm disgraced.
Good luck. Yeah, good luck, Johnny. I'll be waving at you.
An open top bus, yeah. You'll be out. Look.
So those are our festival teams. And the good sports at Bet365, they're having a bit of crack with us and they've decided to price it up, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, they have priced up who's going to win this series of Upping The Ante with our festival teams before we make our final selection. So I haven't seen the prices, okay? Here we go. This is live TV, ladies and gentlemen. Producer Sam is going to hand me the prices from Bet365. I have no idea. Johnny, you're a bookie. What price do you think you should be to beat me?
Look, I think I'll be shorter than I should be. I think I'll be shorter than I should be, genuinely. I'm guessing I'm about a 4 to 9 chance.
4 to 9?
Yeah, maybe 1 to 2. No, I'm not really.
Okay. What should you be?
That's the price I should be.
You should be 4 to 9.
I 1 to 2.
What do you think it is?
I think they could go 1 to 3 or 2 to 7, that kind of stuff.
Okay. I think you're about 1 to 6, Sean.
No, I'm not. Definitely not. No.
Here we go. Johnny Dineen 4 to 11 to win this series of Upping The Ante. I'm 4 to 1, and the draw, the Duck Eggs 0-all draw is 13 to 2, which people might be heavily invested in. The draw, but Johnny is 4 to 11, and I would say that is probably better value than Statement, Johnny Dineen.
No, I'd go with Statement.
Would you? Statement over Johnny Dineen?
Be over in one hit as well. You know what I mean?
Statement more solid than Johnny Dineen?
Oh, without a shadow, yeah. I think so.
He's more consistent, is he?
He is. He does everything right. I don't.
So there you go, Johnny Dineen. It's 4 to 11 to win the latest series of Upping The Ante, and I am 4 to 1 in a 2-horse race. Okay, folks, it's the moment you've been waiting for. It is transfer deadline day, and it's about time to find out what our final signings are. There's only a couple of seconds left in the transfer window, Johnny Dineen. I'll be Jim White, you can be Natalie Sawyer. What have you signed in the last minute transfer market, Johnny Dineen? Well, first of all, who are you getting rid of? You're getting rid of Nick Rocket.
I'm getting thrown out Nick Rocket, yeah.
Nick Rocket,
obviously, he's an on-runner. And I'm going to stick in T-Hoopo. Or T-Hoopo, whatever you like to call it, yeah.
T-Hoopo, yeah.
I do think he's rock solid, 9 to 4. And whatever price he's 9 to 4. I think that's fair. I think that's fair, yeah. I do.
Yeah. And just give us a couple of reasons. He was beaten in the race last year. A lot of people are saying he should have won the race last year, and they're writing him off.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't write him off for that. I think he should have won the race last year. Admittedly, you could say, what should you have won by? Maybe a length, maybe half a length, which isn't a lot, considering that the likes of Dashel, Drasher, Side Burley, all them horses were in a heap. He doesn't have that much in hand on that running. But he's coming in here fresh. He's coming in here a year older. And the big thing, I think, for him is there's nothing really stepping out of the shadows as such. Like Crambo is second favourite, and he couldn't win a handicap in his second. That's when he beat Paisley Park. And he needs to step up a bit from that. And the rest of them are like Dad's Army, aren't they? Like, I think, you know what I mean? Old stagers that have nothing at all hidden. And I do fancy T-Hoopo. I think he's like one of the better bets of the meeting anyway.
The whole meeting, okay.
Yeah,
9 to 4, T-Hoopo joins Johnny Dineen's list for this week's Cheltenham Festival. And I am getting rid of Edward Stone in the Ryanair. I took a chance on him that day. He didn't stay at Kempton. I have to say, Johnny, I've been a little bit unlucky because I've Edward Stone, Corbus Cross and Factify on my team, but all for the wrong race.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
which is obviously a little bit unfortunate.
Well, that's Ante-Post all out.
That is Ante-Post all out.
Yeah.
But I'm getting rid of Edward Stone because I want to leave Corbus Cross and Factify there because in case they win, I can say at least I have the consolation of saying, well, I did tip them for a different race if I do get no
Edward
winners.
Stone could win the champion chase, couldn't he?
He could, yeah.
Have you only 3 non-runners?
Yeah, 3 non-runners.
Oh, right. So you had to
get rid of Edward Stone anyway.
Okay.
And I am coming in with Am I Right? who I was really fancying for the ultimate. But Henry the Bromhead, I think, has been shrewd here. It was a real wet night on Saturday night, a real wet morning on Sunday morning in Cheltenham. And I think he thinks the ground is going to be quicker on Thursday for Am I Right in the Kimure instead of the ultimate. He's an 11-1 shot for the Kimure. He will not be going off 11-1 if that ground continues to dry out on Tuesday and possibly Wednesday, which it is likely to do. I think we could have decent ground by Thursday, could we, Johnny?
Oh, very likely. I mean, it dries here fast. It's a big, wide open track, and it is a place that if they don't get rain in 3 days, it can dry quickly. But it needs to dry now because we need to put the rain again today.
Yeah, I think he's a well-handicapped horse. Just go back and look at his run in October. When he was beaten by his stablemate, he pulled Rachel Blackmore's arms out. I think he needs a fast pace. He'll get that in the Kimure. I thought he ran really well on ground that was too soft for him in the Paddy Power chase at Leopardstown over Christmas. There is a big day in him, and I think this is it. So Am I Right at 11-1 for the Kimure is my transfer deadline day pick. And those are our final teams. Johnny is at a Tihupu or Tihupu. Give us it again.
Tihupu.
Johnny is at a Tihupu for the Stairs Hurdle, and I have added Am I Right for the Kimure. There you go. Those even are the final teams. So before we say our goodbyes, we're just going to remind you that we're not totally stupid here at Upping The Ante, so we're not, because in the final show, the review show, when we'll be back with you Tuesday week, don't forget Tuesday week, we'll be with you at 6 o'clock for the review show. And on last year's review show, let's just have a look at what we tipped for the 2024 Cheltenham Festival.
Yeah, and the second one is Tihupo for the Stairs. Again, I think he should have won the race this year. I think it's a division there's not a lot in it as such, and plus the main thing is you'll be looking at the races like the Ballymore and the Albert Bartlett. They look like staying chasers in the Albert Bartlett, so I don't see anything coming out of that. And Imperi Pass is far too good to run in the Stairs Hurdle. So you'd accept the likes of Gaelic Warrior going up. I wouldn't mind him running it, even if he does, even if they do step up to 3 mile. I think Tiupo would beat that kind of a horse anyway.
Yeah.
To me, he's if he can stay so, he's only 6, he's only 7 next season. So I think he's around 10-1. I think he's a good price, to be honest.
Yeah, Tihupu, Johnny Dineen thinks he should have won the 2023 Stairs Hurdle, and he might get compensation in 12 months' time. I'm going to go for a horse that didn't run at Cheltenham. I'm going to go for Ballyburn in the Ballymore. I think he's probably Willie Mullins' best bumper horse. And I love the fact that they actually have minded him and they said, right, we're not going to Cheltenham. We're going to keep him for next season. We'll probably see him at Punchestown, I'd imagine. Ballyburn. To me, he was the most impressive bumper winner in Ireland this season. Well, apart from A Dream to Share, was obviously very good at the Dublin Racing Festival. But Ballyburn, to do what he did at Punchestown in a bumper that I think was a good bumper, was a fair achievement. And just look back at that point to point. It was a brilliant performance because he was badly hampered at the second last. I think Ballyburn is very good. And I did say on one of my many Cheltenham preview nights, one with Ruby Walsh, I did say I think Willie Mullins' best bumper horse is not running at the 2023 Cheltenham Festival, and instantly Ruby Walsh said, I agree.
All right.
So both myself and Ruby Walsh think Ballyburn might beat Willie Mullins' best bumper horse. He's a 16-1 shot for next year's Ballymore. Who knows, he could be another Imperi Pass. I think he's a very good horse, and hopefully next year we will see him over hurdles and he could develop into a Cheltenham Festival contender. So Tihupu and John Bond for Johnny Dineen, and Ballyburn for me in the Ballymore. There we go. So at the time, Ballyburn 16-1 for the Ballymore, which is now the Gallagher Novice Hurdle. That's looking like alright value. And Johnny Dineen put up Tihupu as a 10-1 for the Stairs Hurdle. So join our review show on Tuesday week when we'll be possibly drowning our sorrows or hopefully basking in all our glory at what will be last week's Cheltenham Festival. That is on Tuesday week at 6 o'clock for the review show. It'll be the last time you see us until November, so please join us then at 6 o'clock. Johnny Dineen, the very best of luck at the Cheltenham Festival. I'll be rooting for you in every race that I'm not involved in, and I hope it's a successful week for you because you've played a blinder for the last 19 weeks here and Up in the Ante. What's the plan for tonight? Relaxation?
No, I have to do a preview, Cheltenham preview in New Toxer.
It's your first one, is it?
It's my third last one. I'm not finished yet, no, yeah.
Johnny, you give preview a whole new meaning.
I know, yeah.
You have previewed more previews than any preview.
I did a bit too many of them this year now, but just you do a few of them and you say, that's me, and the next thing fellas come on that you can't refuse.
And I'll tell you what it is, Johnny, and this is a backhanded compliment, you're too nice.
I know, but there's some people you just can't refuse them, you know what I mean? You just can't, and some things are for causes that you can't refuse. So,
yeah, absolutely, fair play.
And look, it's not the end of the world if I have to do one or two too many. It's not the end of the world, no. Yeah. So I don't mind doing them anyway, but they get, I suppose, a bit repetitive at the same time. But look, no, it's not the end of the world. You could be doing worse.
You certainly could be doing worse. And the only reason they want you, Johnny, is because you're so good. There you go. As I said, the very best of luck, Johnny. It's been terrific spending the last 19 weeks with you. Hopefully, we get a winner or two along the way next week. And for you Up in the Ante viewers, thanks so much for all your hard-earned viewership all throughout the course of the season. It's been brilliant having you every week. The figures have been phenomenal. We can't believe so many people tune in to watch us talking absolute nonsense, Johnny.
Yeah.
But they have. Have a great Cheltenham Festival. Enjoy it. And don't forget to gamble responsibly. Only bet what you can afford to lose. So that is it. That is episode 19 of Up in the Ante in association with Bet365. I've been David Jennings. He's been Johnny Dineen. Thanks for watching.